Welcome to the Town of Richmond Water and Sewer Commission meeting, March 16th, 2026. Any public comments? Where'd the snow go? I'm ready to move on, but I'm sad it's gone.
Yeah.
Next up, additions, deletions, or modifications to the agenda? Oh, okay, moving right along. Approval of minutes from March 2nd, 2026. Any discussion, changes? No?
Motion to approve as presented.
Seconded.
All right, please state your name and your vote.
Aye.
Aaron abstain.
Greg, aye.
Morgan, aye. Motion passes. Squeaked by again. All
I
right,
did not. I was reading the budget and I did not have time to read the
Oh.
minutes.
okay. Next up, purchase orders. Purchase order number 5329 for demo reinstall control panel for the Fournier Press labor materials. And this is what Steve talked about, I think, our last meeting as well, that this was getting installed, that the last one, right? So it's for a total amount of $20,516.72.
Seems like everything's measured in increments of $10,000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is,
Should have been an electrician.
So, all right.
I would be happy to move that one.
All right.
I had moved to approve the purchase order number 25329 in the amount of $20,516.72 to Alliance Group Services LLC.
Thank you.
You looking for a second?
Mhm.
I'll second that.
Greg seconds it. Any further discussion?
Just a note that the funding source is the wastewater capital reserve fund, which is where the other parts of the press project came out of. I
Okay.
just want the commission to be aware that's where we put this unless there's any objections to that.
Right. Nope.
Hopefully we keep that in the fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Do I need to amend the motion to say that?
You could add it. I had it in the draft motion just to make sure that you guys are 100% aware, and if there's any issues that you would bring them up,
Oh,
but that's fine.
Okay.
we'll
I will amend my motion to say that the funds will come from the wastewater capital reserve fund.
thank you, Aaron.
Mhm.
Okay. No further discussion. Please state your name and how you're voting.
Hard aye.
Aaron, I.
Greg, aye.
Green aye, motion passes. Next up, warrants, report number. Oh, no, I just eliminated it. What's the number on it?
Oh, I can find it for you if you
We'll
want.
just say,
You can just approve the warrants too.
warrant as presented. That's to pay our operating cost.
I will move to pay the warrants as presented.
Ms. Bart, I'll second.
Discussion, no further discussion. Please state your name and your vote.
Hard aye.
Aaron, I.
Greg, aye.
Morgan, aye, motion passes. Thank you. Okay. Next up, items for presentation discussion. Consideration holding a special meeting at Monday, March the 30th, 2026, the end of this month. Review draft fiscal year 27 budget.
Yeah, so we had hoped to be ready for this meeting to talk a bit about the budget, but we got a little behind on trying to get to the budget between myself and Steve, and Connie got it pretty much ready. So we're going to plan on working on that this week and next week. We do have fifth Monday in March. So we thought, well, if we could come in here for probably just an hour, review the budget, get some feedback, and then make any changes before the April 6th meeting, which would be the next regular meeting. It might be helpful just to kind of keep the budget process going. Just thinking about timeline, we usually try to aim for a mid-May approval, which is the annual meeting, which was usually warned for like that Tuesday after the third Monday in May. So that'll give us April and early May to kind of work on this and hone it in. And so, yeah, right now the first pass will likely be, expenses, revenue. We'll have a little bit more about septage probably for the first meeting in April because Steve has that meeting at the end of March. But this to give us sort of a base of where we're starting, if that works for everybody's schedule.
It does. Yeah.
I'll be around.
I can do that.
And We'll let David know that he's coming to a meeting the end of March. Okay. We don't need any motions for that, right?
No, well, I'll send you guys we'll do it, we'll do it at 6 o'clock. I'll send out an agenda as we get closer to that.
I think it also April the 6th, we have the Richmond Housing Committee as well. 20 minutes.
6. Oh, okay, yeah, that's actually good too. That way it'll give us a jump on the budget. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I'll take some time
Go
too.
ahead. Good, okay.
Great.
All right, thank you.
So I just, no, sorry. Go ahead.
We'll skip item B for now.
Yeah, I just texted him. Something must have come up, but
Hopefully not another.
Maybe he thought it was at 6.
I literally talked to him
Oh,
this afternoon, and he was like, "I'll see you at 5:30." And so I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, let's go on to the next one. We don't need Steve for the reimbursement question.
should we do the update on the easement? Because we definitely don't need him for that.
Oh, okay.
No, we could even do, I think we can go right to C here, the capital reserve account. That's a pretty easy one too. So really, what we started to do for the 20-year study was we've been taking all expenses out of the capital reserve account, started back in 2025. And then reimbursements have just been going into the general fund. So we wanted to get a motion from the board to transfer the money that's come back so far, which is $193,042, to transfer that basically from unrestricted funds into the reserve fund. This did all happen in FY25. So when we get to the budget next year, or next week, or in a couple weeks, the audited unrestricted funds will just have to reduce by that 198. But the money should go back into the reserve fund because that's where we were trying to pay it out to get reimbursed to.
And the unrestricted funds is the account we try to keep that 15%.
That's the,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and that's the one that doesn't have a specific use.
Right.
And that's the one that's sort of like the over or under any extra revenue or under budget. Expense lines come out of that.
So we're over, looks like we might be over that. Okay. Comments, anybody?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Seems to be good.
good.
Morgan, to start, I moved to transfer $193.42 from unrestricted funds to the wastewater capital reserve account. Reimburse the wastewater capital reserve account for expenses that were paid from the account of the 20-year study.
Would anybody like to second?
I will second that.
Further discussion? No further discussion. Please state your name and your vote for the motion.
Bart, aye.
Aaron, I.
Greg, aye. David, aye.
Morgan, aye. Motion passes. Great.
Do we want to go to easement attainment?
That would be an easy
Brad,
one.
what?
Oh, there's
There he
Steve.
is.
Maybe we jump back.
We can see you, Steve.
Hello.
Well, I can't see you now.
That's okay.
We're here. You're better off.
Yeah, that's
All right.
right.
Continue without camera as long. Yeah, you can hear us?
Yes,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
and see,
Cool. Okay,
Okay.
we
Well,
just can't see you for whatever reason now. I don't know why.
I couldn't it for a while, and then it.
All right. We're going to, let's do the easement.
Where do you want to go? Let's just go back. Go back in order,
Yeah.
I think. Let's get back in
Okay,
order.
get back in order. Okay, good.
And
All right.
it's easier to keep track of things.
Okay, so Steve, we're looking for the superintendent's report.
It's not very good right now.
That's why we're here.
Basically, I'm gonna end up sitting here all night. None of the influent pumps are working right, and we've been struggling for about 4 hours trying to figure it out and get somebody to come, and there's nobody. And right now, I can't get either pump to pump. It's a control thing. I mean, the pumps are pumping, but not pumping. So we're struggling with it. We had a breakdown in dewatering. The incline screw broke this morning, or it broke Friday. See? No. You watch. It's I really it's 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 one thing after another here, and I'm really struggling lately. I really don't know how much longer I can do this. It's 24-hour a day nonstop watching the plant. And you know, we put in our new influent pump. It worked good for a couple days. Then we've had some issues with it, and it seems to be now issues with both of them in the controls. I you know, it's Saturday morning, 3 o'clock. It was the controls for the new one weren't working right, so I had to come in manually, switch stuff around, and get the other pump pumping. It wouldn't just start from home. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's wearing me out. It's wearing everybody out here.
Steve, are these issues that should be covered by warranty since it's a new pump and new controls?
No, the pump pumps, Dave. It's not that. It's something to do in the controls. Stuff has been so cobbled here. When I get somebody here, you know, they have to take hours to try to figure it out. It's not like they can look at the blueprints and, you know, they'll get halfway through and then they'll be like, oh, something here has been cut out or done away with. We came really close one day last week. The wet well filled up. It was within the new pump stopped pumping at 12 o'clock. Where I was obviously in bed and I did not wake up. I woke up at 4, and I didn't go right to SCADA. I took a shower. Then I looked at SCADA, you know, at 5. And by the time I looked at SCADA, the wet well, I knew was danger of overflowing. You know, I immediately switched pumps and came rushing down here. We didn't overflow, but we came really close. Probably I should have gotten somebody but you know, we switched to the reliable pump and the controls and everything worked fine on that. And they worked fine. I got on the phone with the other guys for the pump and the controls, and we tested everything out. What we found was you know, that day on the new pump, it was a stuck check valve. We got that working, and then it seemed to be working good for 3 days, and then it had an issue with the controls again. And then we switched to today. We tried to switch back to it. Controls still seemed to be a problem, and we went back to the old reliable pump, and now I can't get that to do anything. So it's not warranty issue, Dave. It's just one thing on top of the other that you know, we're all struggling here to try to keep the plant running. And it's really we've kicked the can too far.
Steve, if you could call somebody in to walk through all of this and make recommendations, who would that
Well,
company.
I've got a call in to Tom Allen, but I haven't heard back from him today.
Okay.
He's the control guy that I trust the most. He's already
Okay.
had experience with our system. Um, if not him, I've got a new guy, but I was, thinking that Tom already has experience, knows what's going on here. He might be able to figure it out quicker, but
Right. Bart?
My ignorance of the actual control systems, is there a software component to this that is potentially part of the problem?
well, there is. So SCADA is run by a PLC out in the electrical room. And basically that's programmed to respond to, the controls, the things that it sees. And for the most part, it has always been pretty reliable. I do not know what happened adding the second pump. The controls all seem to respond the same, but they don't do the same things anymore. And like for example, the we're on a fill and draw system with our pumps. So the pump shuts off at 5 when the wet well gets to 5 feet. Then it sets till the wet well fills up to 8 feet. Well, what's happening with both pumps is the wet well only gets to 5.2, and then the pumps they think that they don't need to pump anymore. And I can't, so they ramp down and shut off, both of them. Well, they don't shut off. That's the other issue in auto. If they shut off, it would fill up to 8 feet and then kick back on. But there's something in there's something in the controls that aren't getting there. And both Brad and I can't figure it out. We thought we figured one thing out tonight, and we tried several different things to make it work, and it's still doing the same thing. Gets down to 5.2, 5.3, and the pumps seem to ramp down and stop pumping.
And then Steve, they don't, when it gets to 8 feet, do they ramp back up or they just stay ramped down?
They stay ramped down. And they do that whether the thing that's baffling to me is the old pump that we've had forever, or for 3 years, is if you put that in hand, it would pump no matter what. It would pump if it was sucking air. It would stay pumping and keep the flow low in the wet well. But now it seems to ramp down in speed and it drops right off. And we're just baffled by it. And I'm frustrated. Brad's frustrated. It's and then you have the press brake, the incline conveyor braking, and it's not been a good 3 or 4 days. And
Can you override it so that the old pump just stays on all the time? Or you probably thought of that and you can't do
no, it like right now.
Just let it go. It might start pumping at 870.
Well, I don't think it will.
it?
Right now, it seems no matter whether it's in hand or auto, it seems to ramp down when it gets to 5.2. and
Huh.
then it won't pump again. And it used to pump no matter what.
Yeah.
Well,
There's,
so
there's
obviously,
something in the controls. I hate to be
Yeah.
a Debbie Downer, but it's there's
Steve,
just yeah.
yeah. What is the like interval of time that it takes for it to go from 5 feet to 8 feet? Is that like an hour, 6 hours? Depends on the day.
No, it's like 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's a very short period of time.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, like it's gone from 8 feet down to 5, 3, and now it's back at 8 feet in the time that I've been on with you.
Oh,
Okay, so it's fast. So my other question is, maybe it's not your preferred guy, but is it worth calling the other guy for the control panel if he can come quicker to try to give you some relief?
Well, that's the thing. I contacted him and I don't know a lot about him. So I was
When
really
you sat back, we can't hear you.
I haven't contacted him because I mean I've had some recommendations on him, but I haven't talked with him and gotten a feel, there's a lot of things that can get messed up once you get into the controls, and
Yeah.
that's um
Mark,
but like I said, right now to operate to make the plants so it's not somebody's gonna have to be here, all night. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we've cleaned everything that we thought might be an issue, pulled the pump, made sure it wasn't ragged up, cleaned the check valves, cleaned the gate valves. Yeah, we even cleaned the wet well. I mean, we thought there was some sludge buildup in there. Nothing seems to make a difference. And like I said, at noon it was relatively working, but
hmm.
well, obviously this is summer, so I'm thinking of two things. One, is there a way to just bypass it and do like the equivalent of a sump pump float control, like just take it out
yeah,
of the-
but that if we did that, it would require somebody getting into the SCADA system again.
Hmm.
You can't. Everything's intertwined, and it's all flow based on
Right.
how the rest of the plant operates. Also, so if you don't have flow going through the rest, at certain times, the rest of the plant messes up, and we're having issues with the oxygen also. So it's
Right, it doesn't know what to do. Yeah.
it's all tied together, and it's just one of those things. I mean, I hate to say it, but we're getting to the point where I really don't know how many more things we can fix.
So that my second point was as sort of an urgent or emergent thing. Can we hire somebody temporarily to come in and just help you deal with stuff on an interim basis?
Well, here's what we were told last Friday, that our contract operator is probably gonna give us notice. And under our contract, they have to give us a 30-day notice. So I've called, and it's simply because Nathaniel, he is stretched too thin. I mean, they've added, probably 16 more water systems onto him, and now they're adding a major treatment facility in Stowe. So he physically can't do the work, and they don't have anybody that could cover us. So I reached out to VTUMS, which was the only other person that, when we hired Simons, that had put in and they no longer have a grade 5 operator. Our plant's a 4, but most people don't take a 4 test. They just go to 5. So their grade 5 operator passed away, and they haven't been able to locate another one. And she walked me through who in the area might be able to help, and there's nobody. So
Is
on
there
top of
anybody-
everything, we're going to be losing our grade 5 operator probably, if not by the end of April, I would say by the end of May.
So putting aside the need for a grade 4 or 5 operator, I wonder if there's anybody at VTOMs that doesn't have that grade, but might be helpful to come in and like help with some things.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, everybody, the guys can cover everything else. I mean,
Well,
it's
Can we?
It-
It feels like we might need, I don't know. some
well,
extra-
I mean,
I guess
I mean-
you never know when the next thing's gonna break, so it's a little unpredictable.
yeah, I mean, let's shut it off.
Overnight tonight, I mean, is it, you have to hit a button basically every 5 minutes, it sounds like?
Well, I mean, right now we're just struggling even to make it pump. When it gets to it doesn't seem to want to. I am just so baffled by it. This pump has never had problems. I mean, it pumped during all the floods. It pumped,
And it's just since we opened the new control
and
panel.
now we're struggling just to make it pump on normal flows.
Steve, is there any chance that there's like something with the actual electrical between the system and the pump that's not
No,
working correctly?
It's electrical, but it's in the control section. I mean, it's both pumps pump. It's just the controls tell it doesn't need to pump, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Is it possible at all that there's like a virus in the software control system?
I mean, I would think so. It's pretty much a closed system here. I mean, it goes basically from the SCADA PLC out in the electrical room to the PLC in here. And nothing else is affected, and I mean, in any way. Everything
Right.
else in the plant responds just the way we want.
I think PMP should come pump these freaking things out all night.
What?
PMP can pump these things out all night. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, it's they can't, Brad. Where are they going to put it?
At another facility.
Who at this point is going to take it? Who?
Milton.
So I know you do like boil water notices when you can't drink the water. Is there like a conservation notice we could put out to try to reduce what's coming into you for the night? I mean, I would assume like in the middle of the night, you'll get less flushes and showers, but like, is there please conserve? Is there something like that we could do to try to get you less traffic for the evening?
I mean, it doesn't have to be here at this point. So, I mean, and really, right now I have to figure out what's going on, because I can't get it to pump anywhere right now, and it should. So I got to figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
What? Yeah, but this week got it.
All right.
So outside of hitting the iceberg, how was the first trip of the Titanic?
Right.
It's not good.
To be continued.
They called the Fournier guy
I
that came here to that meeting. That's the pump guy.
don't know. I think this just started the first I heard of this was today. I think it
Yeah.
just started over the weekend. Because what was it? Last Friday was the water leak. And they were trying to get on top of a few other things. And then today he told me about the screw and the pump. I knew they were having something with the control panel.
Yeah,
It didn't seem to get as bad as like Sunday morning at 3 a.m. when he had to come in. Because he's like, oh, it's literally not pumping. And I know he's tried to reach out to Tom to get him to come in and fix it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought, yeah, would the pump guy help? Would the electricians be able to help?
yeah,
But Steve, I mean, he can troubleshoot really well.
yeah. No, he's,
So but I think all of us trying to help, like, what about this? What about
Right,
that?
I don't know if that's
my
helpful.
first instinct as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And I think it might be helpful, but I think if Tom's our guy, Tom's our guy, but Tom is tough to schedule. But I'll try to call Tom tomorrow if he doesn't get an answer from him, because I know Tom's challenging, but this is an emergency.
could you call Tom now and say it's an emergency?
Yeah,
Like,
to see if I could get
I,
something.
I mean, it does feel like this is the kind
Yeah.
of thing that like,
He would.
why wait?
So that's where I was going, in an all hands on deck moment, which this kind of is, they're down in the engine room. Somebody's got to be up on top making the calls.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to come and get the screw, take it away, fix it, bring it back. Somebody's got
So
to,
that's been fixed.
it has.
It
been.
has?
Okay.
So that one was a smaller piece that like drives a larger piece, and that has broken several times in the past. So they actually had one on the shelf. So when that broke, they said, "Oh, we know what to do." Took them like 2.5 hours to get it out
Yeah.
and put it back in, but they got that one done.
So that's done.
So that's done, and I think the other one's probably going to Giroux to get welded so they can be the backup again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good
so that's
question.
done. This is the biggest thing right now.
But I have a question. So we talked about what's the septic pumping company? That's P&P.
PMP.
All right. So if they pump into, why can't they? So where does the influent comes into a pump and then it gets pumped to where?
Well, the influent comes into that well
Right?
where you first go in where like
We can see
you
it.
can see it.
Right?
And then I believe it goes through the pump and then it
The pump pumps it to.
to the,
the plant.
Right. Why
next
can't
one.
P&P pick it up in one point and then pump over to that?
well, that's a good
well,
question.
but he was
The
saying,
answer is the pump regulates and modulates the flow into the plant. So it's not like turn it on, turn it off. It's
Trickles.
feed it as it can take it.
Right.
it's sort of a continuous management circuit. So if that doesn't work, the rest of the system doesn't know what to do. It assumes it's off. Because that was sort of my question. Why don't you just like rewire the pump? Because the pump works.
Right.
It's just the control of the pump that
Yeah.
doesn't work. But it's because it is part of an integrated system, and the flow at this end determines what the actions have to be in the middle.
Each stage down the line.
Is that Michael of the Water and Sewer Department?
I don't know who that Michael is.
I was gonna see if it would help to get them some food tonight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I could
Do you have
be a
stuff
committee of
from,
one to do that.
do you have stuff from the
Sure do.
Cochran still?
They could have food at 7:30.
I think stopping by on the way after the meeting would be, I'm
Okay,
sure they'd appreciate that.
okay.
Yeah.
And,
I was gonna see if I could sit there overnight and do it, but I don't know if it's like as simple as just like if it was just restart every 20 minutes, I'd take a few hours.
Right,
to
we
shift.
can all take, I'd take.
I don't know if it's
Send far down.
Staff like from highway that we could borrow just on the short term.
it's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how technical it is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
If you're gonna press this button every time the light comes on.
I could I could go sit there for a few hours and do that. Anybody could, but yeah, I mean, they just had to get up and run away to like, we got to figure this out. So if they can get it to that point, then yeah, I think we can find all hands on deck to, I got midnight to 4 a.m. tonight, something like
Right.
that.
Maybe we should think about having a mechanical engineer commission these systems when big major parts are replaced.
Mm,
Have a design engineer, somebody who understands the blueprint side of it, study the paperwork and understand what needs to happen so that everything turns on.
mhm.
was the SCADA board replaced or reprogrammed?
So I think that there's
Well, there's a
Control
control board,
panel.
SCADA system.
Right. SCADA system, right?
control panel controls the pump, but it feeds into SCADA, so then you can control the panel through
Remote.
SCADA and remotely. And I'm not sure if it was completely replaced or upgraded because we got the new pump in there. And to your point, it sort of gives them one of those, kick myself moments, right? Because it's like they were able to install the pump that has been working for the last year and a half on their own.
Yeah.
So then when Hoyle Tanner said, "Oh, here's this next step to get the new pump," Steve said, "Oh, we can put that in." So I do wonder, had we had a little more, technical oversight, would we avoid this or not? It's hard to say, but it does, kind of give you the value of
Well,
it's possible, but here's why.
Yeah, I think the advantage would be somebody who had the testing tools,
Yeah.
who could check line voltage, who could.
How long has the new pump been in?
Just a couple of weeks, I think, and like that's when this gremlin started to appear.
This is the part where you jiggle it.
That's why I was,
Actually, no, I mean, I think he just told me about it. I don't think he told me about this earlier, but he said there was something happening with the control panel I couldn't quite figure out, but like this not kicking back on thing, I think that seems fairly new to me, but he knew something was off, but now it's maybe it's getting worse. I mean,
And how does it know when it's at 5 feet? There must be some sort of pressure
Yeah, it's-
transducer. So it's communicating it, and when the pressure gets to a certain point,
Yeah.
something kicks in. So that might be miscommunicating too, right?
that's why I was wondering about the electrical, because we had something happen with our well at the farm that it was saying that the well was messed up, and then it turned out that the wire that went to like the control panel had eroded, and it was
Right.
$127 electrical fix, but we had replaced the whole well system to find out that we needed the wire. So that's why I wonder, like, if someone, just tests because the control panel must take power somehow.
Yeah.
So they go, he literally like put his little thing and was like, "Oh yeah, you're not getting the right power to your box. That's why it's not working." So
Yeah, I wonder if there's anybody, I don't know, Hoyle Tanner, like if Kirsten could come out and take
Yeah.
a look too, just because she's got some of that expertise.
Oh,
Or know somebody, if not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if he's reached out to her. I'll ask her.
Yeah, they
they
must
probably know everybody, don't they?
They must use commissioning agents for major installations.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do.
So
He's back here. Let me see.
I want to encourage Steve to, he sounds pretty beat up. I hope he understands he's got our faith and support.
Yeah, I talked to him last Friday, or maybe it's Thursday. No, it was anyway, last week. He came to me and I said, "Well, let's try to get some time to talk about some solutions." And he's like, "Yeah," and we spoke for probably, I don't know, 45 minutes in the parking lot. And we've spoken a few times since then, but we haven't had a chance to really sit down and say, "Okay, how can we help you out?" And I talked to Morgan a bit, and Morgan said he'd be happy to sit in on one of those conversations too. But I think even hearing it from you guys right now would be helpful too.
Yeah. I mean, all of us have had that experience of having a car you love that's
I drive a Saab.
should have sold. Oh, there you go.
Right.
Asked and answered, counselor. That you probably should have sold it last year, but you keep throwing on another alternator and a new water pump, and pretty soon it's like Grandpa's axe.
well, and he's taking care of this whole place like it's his own. I mean, like he takes care of it like you see a farmer take care of a farm.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
365,
Yeah.
24/7.
ask a stupid question, but is it time to just go through all the wiring and jiggle every connection and check every plug?
You're muted too, by the way. I muted you, Steve. You need to
You're
unmute.
muted.
Or does he know how to unmute? Do you know how to unmute?
If you're on a computer, press the space bar.
No. What's that? This isn't.
Just
If you hover over your box in the top, like the box with your face in it, the top right corner should end up with a mute or unmute.
just what he needed is more bullshit.
Yeah.
Put the cursor over the square with your face in it. And do you see a mute and unmute pop up? Doesn't sound like it.
You want me to go over there? No.
Oh man, why is no Zoom? It's killing him.
I'm shocked you can't unmute him.
It only says ask to unmute. It's really weird because I muted him because I knew that he and Brad were off.
What if you do the cheeseburger menu? Can you do it from there?
There's a mute all. Is there an unmute all?
Pass to the mute. No, I think it's only,
He's back, he's back.
you got it, or I got you maybe.
Hey, Steve.
Where?
There you are.
All right, your troubleshooting skills are sharp there.
You're back on screen.
Well, I'm not sure. Is that better?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
you're
it.
good.
Because this is the page I usually see. I can see you guys now.
Oh,
Steve, can
Yeah.
we bring you some dinner?
No, I'll get some at some point.
we have
And
lots
it's
of
really, it's not that. I understand you guys are supportive and everything. It's just, yeah, I mean,
You went to the water and sewer department, so you weren't farming, and now you're farming again.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to be a Debbie Downer, and I try to keep up, but it's it's beginning to wear on us, everybody here.
Yeah.
You know, we thought, well, we got the new flocculator and the new control panel and dewatering, and that seems to be, we got the bugs worked out of it. It seems to be working great. And then, you know, Friday we pressed all day. It was great. 3 o'clock, the shaft broke on the incline conveyor again. And you know, and then I mean, we can do it in 2 hours now. We did it this morning. Got it all out, but back in and working. But it's just, you know, it's
Yeah.
It's
Are these pumps 3-phase pumps?
yes. The new one's 480, and the old one is 220.
Could there be a problem with the voltage inverters?
No, well, no, because the old pump, like I said, they didn't touch it. They didn't do anything with it. That's why I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the controls.
Now, what
You know,
physically tells the pump to turn off and on? There must be, what, a pressure sensor or a level switch?
well, there is, and I wholeheartedly think that is part of the issue. It's also flow based, Dave. So,
Yeah.
you know, once it starts, it ramps the pump up to keep the flow at a certain level.
So it could either be a mechanical problem with a sensor or an electrical problem with something not being plugged in or getting continuity.
well, or in the PLC, you know, it simply receives messages, you know, analog messages back there telling it what, you know, if it receives X, it does this. If it receives Y, it does this. You know, one of the cards could be burned out. I don't know.
Would Alliance have any insight, or they just hooked
I
it
mean,
up
they
and-
have a control guy, but he's hit or miss. I mean, at this point, you're not going to get anybody tonight.
Yeah.
I know that. It's really a special, SCADA is a specialized system.
I'm guessing
you
you've
know,
done the obvious and looked for loose wires and jiggled connections and
yeah, we've looked for everything. Everything appears to be operating normal. You know, it's
is it helpful if any of us come over and do a couple hours shifts with you, or?
no, I mean, because you know, you go to turn on the pump and it, you know, just then it went to 12 feet before we got it to pump, and it didn't make any rhyme nor reason what we did. It just finally started pumping. So
So it's not like if we sat there for a 4-hour shift, we could push a button every 20 minutes and let you go. Because there's like every 20 minutes there's a unique wrinkle, it sounds like.
it's and that's
Okay.
what I said. You know, I could let the well, you know, the wet well fill up, but I really don't want that hassle, because if we don't get it pumping, then, we keep it down, got a safety mode.
How long, how many hours does it take to like go halfway up the wet well? Just trying to think of how we can get you some rest tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It all depends on the flows. It depends what's coming in.
Yeah.
Um,
Was he here when I asked about the conserve?
yeah, it was, and it doesn't really seem. I mean, Brad is, I think, going to come back later. He said he was going to go home, have dinner, and stuff, and then he would probably come back around 10:30. I'll go home for a while, and then I'll come back in.
You guys air mattress or something to have? So you
We
can
do
catch-
have one here, not an air mattress. We picked up a cot free side the road that we have here for those times that we need it. I'm
Okay.
just starting the pump again here. I'm making sure that it's.
Yeah. Well, text me Tom Allen's number and I'll call him tonight just to put the bug in his ear that, hey, this is a real emergency and we need to hear back from you.
No, I mean, I've already done that. I mean, he knows it. He would have called me if he had any time.
Have you called Kirsten at Hoyle Tanner?
I haven't. I mean, her expertise isn't in the electrical and controls.
But she might know people that could, in a pinch, come over and help out. Because right now you got nobody, and if maybe somebody's better than nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, even I know you'd love to get Tom, but if you can get somebody in there to help start the troubleshoot, that might be
Steve,
helpful.
Steve, who else in the area, what other wastewater facilities have the same or similar SCADA system?
Each one is different. Each one is adapted to the plant.
Right.
So you could have two plants identical, but their SCADA systems would be different because they react and to the flows that come in and go out. So every plant is unique and different.
Right.
So it is what it is. I just, like I told Josh last week, it's beginning to draw on all of us here, myself especially, but
There's Aaron.
we'll work through it and we'll get. I mean,
There's
it is what it is. So
And
I
obviously,
signed on for the long haul. I mean,
And Aaron.
and obviously we can't help. Well, I can't, maybe the others can, but I can't help a ton with the plant stuff, but even if it's just somebody to vent to or whatever, like, we do really appreciate what you're doing and I'll answer.
I know, and like I said, it's not from the lack of support from you guys. I understand that, and it's just, we were hopeful that we get this second influent pump in, which I have never had two pumps that worked, and we were going to be in good shape, and now we're worse off than we were before. But
Steve, this might be a dumb question, but could the wind today have done anything?
no, I don't. No. I mean, everything's down at the bottom of the wet well, or in.
Okay.
It's all wiring in here.
And the restart issue didn't really start until Sunday morning at 3 a.m., right? Like you would sort of sense there was something off with the control panel, but it didn't get this severe until just recently. Is that right?
Yeah, didn't get this severe until today.
It was today. Okay.
We switched. The thought was we would switch back to the new pump and try it again. And try to work out bugs while we're here and not use it during the night. but we had several issues with it, so we opted to switch back over to the other pump, which worked great from Saturday till today. And when we switched back to it, it seems to have the same issues as the other pump,
Okay, that makes sense. Jeez.
which leads me to believe that it's something in the SCADA PLC control panel.
Because if it was
And-
electrical, then both pumps, the old pump wouldn't have worked for the weekend. Right? If it was
Right.
electrical, yeah. I see what your trouble, I see how you narrow it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, I hate to ask a stupid question, but is it possible to reboot SCADA?
Every time we do that, Dave, there's the chance that it will not come back.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the last time I had Tom Allen's guy here, he's like, "Oh, I don't even want to do this again," because they've had issues in the past.
Okay.
I mean, we're dealing with stuff that was put in 2003 and has operated nonstop since then.
This,
Sure, we've talked about this, but can we upgrade your SCADA system now for the 20-year upgrade?
Not really.
Okay.
The SCADA system really needs to be designed after. Well, it would go hand in hand with the upgrade. All the newer controls and stuff that we'd like to put in would be, they would build a SCADA system and then install it as the upgrade is going. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? I mean,
Mhm.
you can't really upgrade the SCADA system. I mean, we could, but it's not worth it, you know. You'd be spending $30,000 for a year, and then it would be obsolete with the new system, you know, as the new system comes in.
might be money well spent.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So we have a Windows 98 level operating system
yeah.
Right?
and a new pump. It may be there's just a limit to how much backwards compatibility there is to the firmware on the pump.
Well, I mean, the pump pumped fine for 4 days, and then it started having control issues. We switched to the old pump. That pump took right over, went great. We switched back to the other one. It worked good for 3 days. And then we switched to the old one, and that took off and went right to work. And we switched to the new one today, and to try to work out bugs with it. And we had some issue. It worked good for about an hour. We had some issues. So we switched back to the other one, and now, you know, now the other one has the same issue. So I'm not 1,000% sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, if your man tells you tomorrow you need a new SCADA system, I don't think we'll be shocked.
Yeah.
And I think
I mean, I think the worst that would be some control cards or a control card in the SCADA system.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a complete new system there, and there are, you know, cards in there that take in analogs and relay it back to the PLC to get, you know, like when the pump reaches 5 feet in the wet well, that's when it's supposed to ramp down. What's happening now, when it gets to 5.2, it's ramping down and stops pumping. So yeah, I mean, it was a matter of timing today. I guess I should have, you know, if we hadn't had 2 hours, 3 hours on dewatering, I could have, you know, spent on this. We would have put the new pump in action earlier, and maybe I could have got a hold of Tom earlier, but
I still think it's worth to give Kirsten a call because she may know somebody even out of like Plattsburgh or someplace like that.
Yeah.
It's probably bigger.
I mean, the two names that she usually gives me for controls are Tom Allen and the Don Martin, which is the other guy I've got to contact.
Okay.
When I'm just looking
I mean,
online.
last time I talked to her about controls. Um,
So Tom or Don it is, it sounds like.
Okay.
Well,
All
maybe
right.
somebody in New York or the Eastern Seaboard, because seriously, you know.
well, the other person, there is another company, and I mean, they do have 24-hour. It's Champlin, but
Yeah.
I have no faith in them, and they have a very bad reputation of making a mess once they're into somebody's SCADA systems.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
no,
So-
We already-
So,
They and truthfully, Don Martin was Champlin's control person, and he, after 15 years of being frustrated with him, left and has his own company now.
hmm.
And he's not available either, that Don Martin guy.
I hadn't talked to him because I was trying to get Tom
Yeah,
Allen.
um,
okay.
all right.
Oh,
Do you have anything else you want to tell us about?
No, not really. I mean, we're working. We talked about the Zenner problems.
we haven't got that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on some with the utility reader and some leak detection and some other trouble codes. I spend 15 minutes on that, and I just haven't been able to get back to it.
Yeah, so that's in addition to the online issues that we're starting to get resolved, but not fully resolved. You got what, like 11 accounts that have like a weird code on them that you haven't been able to figure out?
Yeah, there's 11 accounts that show up on one of their utility readers that it doesn't show me a trouble code. I have to go to their they have two systems. One's a utility reader and one is a utility manager. The utility manager system shows, though, they show our whole system as a whole. And it shows, how many have responded in 24-hour period and how many of them have shown with trouble codes. From day one, I've had these 11 that show up on there, and I've gotten nowhere with Noah, and he keeps contacting them, and he's like, "Oh, I thought that was resolved," and it comes, I'm like, "No, it's still there." And now we have several accounts that show up on the utility reader that show leaks. One of them is the town center. It's showing 5 to 7 gallons of water usage every hour, 24 hours a day. And so we're trying to, the meter is physically spinning, and according to Noah, if the meter is physically spinning, then you've got water flow. And we several times have looked at all of the sinks and all of the toilets in the town center and the post office, and we didn't see any water running there. So I'm trying to rectify all those other issues. It's just one more thing.
Yeah, we keep trying to chase it here. We're not sure what's going on. We even Duncan and Pete, our facilities person, went to the Chaseway underneath the post office, which is like a little, like they run a bunch of pipes under there for heating and whatnot to see what's a leak under here. And Nope, nothing under there either. So we're not really sure what's going on. Our next thing is to try to start turning valves off and seeing if that stops the meter from spinning. But we kind of wanted Steve to help out with that, but we don't, obviously he's been a bit busy. So yeah, but when he told me last week that there's an issue with the Zenner meters, a few other accounts, I thought, well, maybe we don't really have a leak. We have to see. And it's too bad because Noah's been fantastic. Like whenever there's something that Noah can fix from Zenner, he's great. But as we're getting into some of these technical things with the meter readouts and the online accounts, we're not getting as great service as we would like. And yeah, we keep trying to get it fixed.
There is systems that can externally measure if water's flowing through lines.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is I had an underground leak on a building. I'm sure it has to do something with induction, right? I think they have to hook up and run something out, and then that flow creates a electromagnetic field or conductance. Don't remember the name of the company. That was out west.
Yeah.
But
No, it's good to keep in mind and see because we want to try to chase down what's going on here.
right.
But we also want to make sure that like the other accounts are reading accurately. I mean, that to me is almost a bigger concern. Like, are we reading everybody's account correctly? Like, if these 10 that are showing errors, like, what's going on with that? So we need some better feedback from Zenner and some better.
And I did get a contact information from a guy, and I haven't been able to get back to him.
Is there something that I could call him on, or do I need to know the technical
No,
aspect?
because I mean I've got
You got-
screenshots and I can just send them to him once I get a hold of him and explain what I'm trying to get fixed. And I think he's the right guy now.
Okay.
It's not Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel does the online portals. This other guy deals with the utility readers and the utility manager. And he should be able to figure out what's going on there.
Okay.
The other thing is that it's bothered me from day one. When we put in the meters, we were getting battery codes on some meters, which indicated that their batteries needed to be changed. And Noah basically took that away. And I would like it to be put back in. And if there are batteries in these meters that need to be changed, they should be changed now. And there was supposed to be a 20-year life, or I think a 10-year guarantee, but I think they should change them if we're still having that. So that's another issue that I need to bring up with Zenner.
Okay.
Other than that, Brad's going to try to take his test, and I've really been trying to get Brad to just study this week. His test on Friday. His last test was a 69. If he gets 1 point, then we don't need a contract operator. And then I've been trying to figure out, which I haven't had time. I've got to talk to the state and see if they'll allow me to take the test. To see if I can have enough hours now.
What level test is that? Which
the level 3 and 4 are really extremely hard. And we're a level 4 plant. And everybody that we've talked to says just bypass 4 and take a 5. Because a 5 is actually easier than a 4 and a 3. So that's what we've been doing with Brad, has been trying to take a 5.
Yeah, so Brad's got that Friday, and if he passes, then we no longer need sign
Nathaniel.
systems, which would be great
Yeah.
because they're too busy right now anyway. So hopefully he'll pass it, and you need a 70 to pass. He's at a 69 or a 68 the last two or three times he's taken it.
He's
So,
a 68 and a set is 69 the last
Yeah.
two times.
so maybe the 70,
Next time I'll get it.
maybe he'll get the 70, one point a test, right? We'll get him there at 1 point a test.
He's gonna get
So-
73, I know it.
That would be amazing.
So,
Do you want to talk, I mean, do you have any more? Do you want to move on to the work safe audit?
sure.
Is that all right? Yeah, good.
We fixed a bunch of things. Some of the things that they faulted us on, like the control panel that was open was in dewatering. We've got a brand new control panel. It doesn't have to be opened anymore to make things work. The air compressor is brand new. Well, the air compressor head is brand new, so that's now all up to snuff and got all the guards and everything that it should have. The outlet, we had the electricians change. We've put, they don't like chains across doorways anymore as a source of fall protection. In dewatering, we installed 2x4s and brackets. That's what they want. They want it more permanent, I guess. There are some things that we do need to buy. All of our step ladders and ladders are not in compliance. They all have to have, we have a couple of them that are, they probably would work. We'll have to put some stickers on them to show that, don't stand on the top the top of the ladder anymore and stuff like that. But all of our extension ladders are defunct and not good. So we're going to have to replace them. All of our extension cords were bad. We'll have to replace all of those, and everything goes up by the day. The downstairs, the chains across for the lift that goes down into the influent pump well, that sorry, just looking at the pump here. That has to be a physical gate, should not be chains like it is, and it has to be a self-closing gate. That's in the $500 to $600 range. Whether we have Giro's build one or we buy one from Granger's do sell them, but they don't make one wide enough for our space that we are trying to enclose. The inspection for the overhead lift, it was put in 1973. It's never had any inspection that we could find. It's never had anything done with it. Doesn't get used a lot, but when it does work, they want it inspected. The only inspection company that we could find is out of Massachusetts, and it's $2,500 just for them to come. And they could come and say it's total junk. We can't even inspect it or fix it.
Is that getting replaced in the upgrade?
No.
Hmm.
The other thing is a gas meter that's clip on. We were told that to go down into the wet well, we should have a gas meter, either put one out, which doesn't work every day for us, or have a clip on that you could take down with you to minimize the risks of there being gas down there. Even though that it's not technically a confined space, they still, because it does have the chance, of gas being down there when you got down there, would like to see sorry, I'm struggling with the pump again. That's about $1,500 to $1,800 for one of those. So there's some significant stuff that we still need to do, and purchase. But we've been working. Mike and Aaron have been working really hard on our SDS sheets. Aaron had done a pretty good job, but they all needed to be current and up to date. So they've gone through all our chemicals, and are getting new SDS sheets for all the chemicals we have, plus putting together, if there's chemicals in unmarked bottles, getting rid of those. Doing all the safety stuff that we should have probably been doing right along, but hadn't. And then we're archiving all of the all of the old sheets, because we have to keep them for 25 years, in case there's a problem with anybody going back. So we're working on all those things. And we've got a pretty good jump start on it. But there
Yeah, I
are
think
some
You guys did a
there are
great
some
job. The minute
there are
Bosha
some
was here,
things there that we're gonna need.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already, like, the minute Vosha left the first day, you already started making the improvements they asked for. I think you told me
Yeah.
there's probably $10,000 or so left to go. So just to update for the commission, we do have, I think, enough in unrestricted funds and wastewater to cover that. We have like 265,000 unrestricted funds. So I think, Steve, you can rest assured you can make the purchases you need to get up to speed on the safety items. And there's money there.
Yeah,
Money there for it. And it's
I'm trying
good
to
stuff.
buy quality things that will
Yeah.
last us a long time, and not just buy cheap run-of-the-mill Home Depot stuff sometimes. We've got a lot of extension cords that are low quality, and I think if we can buy a good quality that's a year-round cord that can be out in the cold, that seems to affect most of the cords. So yeah, we've been working on that right along since we got the report, and yeah, we've just got to knuckle down and finish it up, but I don't see any problems with us getting there.
Steve, since that overhead crane inspection, you said that you're not getting a new overhead crane in the upgrade. Would it make sense to have that inspection done sooner as opposed to later? So if we don't pass it, we could put it in the upgrade if we needed to do something to it?
I suppose, I mean, it was kind of, they said that if they got up into this area that they could come in and do the inspection. It wasn't a guarantee that they would do it. They would run right up and do it if we said do it, because it's a 2,000-pound overhead crane. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for them, they were mostly deal with 20-ton cranes, but they said that they could do this inspection for us. There was Nate Fredericks, our contract operator, had given us a number of somebody he thought might be able to inspect it, and they haven't responded back to us. He's had them inspect ones for them on certain places. I'm gonna have to go again. I can't get this pump to pump again.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let us, if we can do anything.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
So we kind of running out of time,
Yeah.
obviously. We might, I don't know if there's even worth.
We can do the Tilden Avenue.
Yeah.
And we can
just
probably review the February water data.
the funding is gonna be tough to even touch on right now.
Yeah.
You want to do, I can give you a quick update on Zenner if you want that.
Sure.
So it's really pretty much the same as last time we talked. Daniel checked in at least once in the last 2 weeks to say, hey, I'm still working on it. But I haven't seen any change to the online system. I think Steve's issue is a little bit higher priority right now, but they're both important.
Okay.
And we're not really being satisfied right now. Then I know that Noah did, I think he elevated it even to the president a couple weeks ago to tell him
Yeah.
we're gonna have some serious issues. So I'll check back in with Noah this week on both of these and see if he has any better update.
Do other people that use Zenner meters have these problems, or is this Richmond specific?
Well, I don't, the issue that Steve brings up is a bit new to me, so I don't know if he's had any feedback, if that's Richmond specific or not. The online account, the more I talk to Daniel, who's the one who's sort of building this, the more I realize that only about 25 of their customers actually use the online portal, and they've got a few hundred people that use the portal. He said a lot of systems, for some reason, don't want it and don't want to give their customers access, so there's a relatively few number that use it. And it sounds like Daniel tries to customize it to each system's needs. So a lot of the stuff in there is like, yeah, that works great for a water system in San Antonio, but it doesn't work great for us. So that's why we had to have him go in and hide a bunch of these things. So once I started to understand that, I'm like, okay, this isn't just like a cookie cutter, here's your base model Camry, and now add your bells
Right.
and whistles on. So that's why I'm trying to work with Daniel to get it down to like, let's just get this simplified for us. But it's a good question, because I asked the same thing, like, how come these online, should this be ready to go out of the box? And maybe it's a similar thing with this. Noah also said that they were in the process of upgrading their system that is sort of the first system that reads everything from the water meters, and he thought that might be something that isn't communicating well with their more modern online system. So maybe that loops back to the errors that Steve's seeing too, but either way, just some continued frustrating challenges are a bit out of all of our control. So I'll make a call to Noah this week though to ask about, now that I know more about what Steve's looking at, where are we at with both of these?
And ask if the batteries are
We have batteries.
designed to be in sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah.
You could-
Well, hopefully the meters are not in sub-zero temperatures. So the meters should
I guess that's true,
they
but
should be flowing.
they should be in a warm spot, but
Yeah. Okay.
I have to think like the manhole where ours is.
Yeah, may not be.
It's pretty freaking cold.
Yeah. I will ask. I'll give him a call tomorrow and try to just, as a separate voice in his ear, try to follow up on it. So that's Zenner.
Review of February water data.
Do you want to do Tilden first, quick?
Yeah, seems pretty easy.
Sorry, I just wanted to skip over that. So, we got some more information from the attorney as far as like why you need the social security number. It's basically because they didn't have a great answer, but because it's a tax document, they got to make sure that it links back to the right tax holder or taxpayer. Duncan created a actual hard copy mail letter that we're sending out. I'm going to start to follow up with some additional calls later this week and probably some door knocks just to, again, maybe another voice in the person's ear. I know Duncan's called 4 or 5 times to a lot of folks and has gotten limited response. So I'll try to, okay, there's another voice calling. We do have the opening for the bid on Wednesday. So we'll at least know what our bids are and do they fit to our bond vote? That's the next challenge too, because the bond vote was 4 years ago at this point. So fingers crossed we get some good bids on Wednesday.
I talked to 2 people in Tilden, and one was like had gotten too much information, was confused, thought we were asking for a new easement, talking.
Yeah.
And then somebody else said, oh, it was sort of like, "Oh, I guess I can do that," but I gave them an easement for something else, but they didn't ask for my social security number for that.
This is that we've done a couple easements in the past and I've never had to do a PTTR for those. And now I'm not sure why. All of a sudden it's being required because I have done them.
Maybe a new.
This is a new thing to me.
Anyway, it sounded like people would sign it. They just needed to.
And I think there's probably a different comfort level talking to you
Perhaps, yeah.
about that.
So we got 11 or 12 with Duncan. Hopefully we'll get the next 11 or 12 here. And Steve's already given some advice like, oh, that person will never answer the phone. You got to go to their house. So we'll do that.
And knock on the
Yeah.
door.
So,
Well, if you
but we're
could
getting close.
just send me a list of people in Tilden.
Yeah,
Happy-
you got some people?
I know two of them, so.
All right, thanks. And then water data.
Look pretty good.
Yeah.
Good, love the graphs.
Yeah, they're doing, oh, I'm in the wrong thing here. Yeah, the graphs are great. Aaron's doing an awesome job with that. And all the guys, well, the staff is doing a great job keeping all the numbers within the right, within the right range. I think this is 2 or 3 months in a row of not even one day out of
Yeah.
ordinary. So this here is the fluoride, so right, perfect in the range. Chlorine is doing great, and pH level should be no lower than a 7, and doing a
Yeah.
great job there too. So
Yeah.
at least the water side is
Knock on wood.
running super well, sans the meters. All right, we'll add the.
Yep.
You want to consider adding the funding to the budget discussion in 2 weeks, so we don't let it go too long? I mean, do you guys want to be here longer than 7 o'clock, though? I don't know.
Oh,
We might have a special meeting for the select board in 2 weeks as well, for a public informational.
2
meeting.
weeks or next week?
No, in 2 weeks, because
Okay.
we actually have 2 Mondays. No, it's a good question. We have 2 Mondays off because there's the 5th Monday. So our next regular meeting isn't for 3 weeks. So that's why we said, oh, the 30th might work. Oh, maybe I don't, yeah, the
Oh,
30th.
traveling.
Well,
Oh,
So,
well, let me see what happens at the select board meeting tonight too, because if there's a public informational meeting that same night, then 3 of us will have to run over there. 4 of us, so we won't be able to go past 7. But if we can go past 7 and we want to talk funding, maybe we do.
I think there's some things we can whittle away on, as I just made
Yeah.
them, just a quick notes
Okay.
of, are there things that we've been discussing could be eliminated, like 20-year bond versus 30-year? I've been hearing like,
Yeah.
30 years doesn't really make sense.
Okay,
and not to be rude, but if we have to bump the housing committee so that we can talk about our funding, like,
fair point.
it is sort of more important that we,
Oh, that's on the 6th, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good point. And I can send some emails to schedule with you guys too, once we get a little more information and then see what,
Right.
that's fair game to respond to all if we're just doing scheduling. So
Mhm.
that could be helpful.
Morgan, I think you're right. Like what you were just describing are some of the guardrails.
Right,
And I think there are probably at least one more, which is the existing rate structure. From everything I picked up, we don't have a lot of latitude in deciding who we want to arbitrarily charge higher rates.
right.
So,
there
and
was
our
a-
current rate structure kind of fits, at least by the apportionment of the percentage of use by customer category. I
Right,
think that is it. So back to some of the things that we know.
right. Yeah, 20-year, what's the other thing,
Figures make sense.
right? Do-
Cutting costs where feasible. Trying to get funding where feasible, but the federal funds, I'm not at all optimistic that they'd be coming back.
So we should probably talk about, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should probably
Okay.
talk
Okay.
about that when we talk about it next, and we'll figure that
Our
out.
30th meeting is going to,
30th meeting will be about budget.
let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Well,
And then
that's
we'll do
A,
the-
and then we'll add this as B if we, for some reason,
For the budget.
yeah, if for some reason we blow right through
Okay.
the.
Yeah, we might.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'll make the motion to adjourn because we're at time.
Please state your name and your vote.
Aren't
Aaron, I,
Greg,
oh, Steve unmuted though.
Morgan, I.
Thanks, Steve.
Steve, do you have another question?
No, I just wanted to say thank you guys, and I know you guys are supporting us here. It's just, like I said, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but it's getting to be to the point where I just don't know how much longer we can keep it rolling.
Well, I'll just say this, I think probably everybody agree, if we've got to spend some money on SCADA now and it's a lost, whatever it's called, sunk cost,
Yeah.
then we've got to do that. I mean, it's not, you just can't operate like this. So
And
thank you.
Like I said, hopefully we'll hear from Tom and we'll get him in here. And if not Tom, I'll get somebody else. But we'll definitely get somebody in here tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we adjourned, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, we are adjourned.